Ladies and gentlemen, Bostonians and visitors, welcome to the Old State House's annual reenactment of the Boston Massacre, or, as a report published in London called it, the late unhappy disturbance in Boston. It is March 5th, 1770, and the town is tense. 18 months ago, the government in London sent 4 regiments of soldiers to Boston. Their mission was to protect officials collecting new taxes on tea and other goods. Those 4 regiments contained over 2,000 soldiers, sent to patrol a town of fewer than 16,000 people, most of them children. That meant there was 1 redcoat for every 2 adult men in Boston. The arrival of those troops produced even more resentment and resistance than before. There were countless arguments between soldiers and civilians. Townspeople objected to stopping for army sentries. Army officers refused to obey town watchmen. Women complained about being assailed on the streets. Soldiers reported being threatened with arrest just for doing their duty. Even after 2 of those 4 regiments were sent to other parts of the empire, there were still fights in the marketplace, fights in the alleyways, fights on the main road into town. The trouble affected even Boston's most affluent gentlemen of business.
Can't go on. Mr. Payne? Mr. Payne? Well, how is trade?
Trade? Well, trade isn't as healthy as it could be from right now.
Yes, given the heavy burden that London has placed upon our trade.
I find it odd to hear so many merchants of this town complain of poor trade all the while when they insist upon no ships landing goods from Britain and then no shopkeepers sell them.
Mr. Darrell, you know very well we agreed not to deal in foreign goods, sir, to protect our liberty.
Liberty. Liberty is a word used by the people as an excuse not to pay their taxes.
We pay our taxes, sir, when we are represented in the assembly that levies those taxes, the assembly that should meet here. We have no voice in Parliament, and if we accept unjust taxes, sir, we are no better than slaves. Slaves. We're just going to second them off.
safely, sir? Do you feel safe?
Believe we are free Englishmen when we have these armies settled on our shores.
Well, I do not feel safe with angry mobs running through the streets and breaking windows. Why, a sailor whose customs service was tarred and feathered last fall. And look at this unsightly mob that is gathered about this night.
Excuse me. It was little trouble before the soldiers arrived.
Little trouble.
Little trouble.
Little trouble, Mr. Marshall. Do you not remember that mobs like these tore down the house of the lieutenant governor in 1765, and then in 1768, the boat of Mr. Harrison was burned. It is the soldiers that are here to protect us, and it is unsightly mobs such as this one that I fear most of all.
But sending soldiers to a crowded town, the government should have known it would lead to violence, sir. We have no need of the defense of these troops. As a militia officer, I know we can defend ourselves as we did when we helped to drive the French from Canada.
Indeed, help, and that is what we should be doing for our government. We should be paying our fair share of taxes.
I told you that we will pay our taxes when our own assembly and our elected representatives.
Told us, gentlemen, these matters will not be solved this evening. Pray, let us go home to our several places of abode before violence breaks out among us.
Indeed, you are wise.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Sir, a little beverage just by your grace.
Perhaps. Step us.
The soldiers of His Majesty's 14th and 29th Regiments have lived in Boston for well over a year. Welcome or not, they have become part of the town population. Some work part-time in local shops and manufactories. Some have even married in Boston's churches. Others brought their families with them, like Private Edward Montgomery of the 29th Regiment. His wife Isabella and their daughters and their children are just saying goodnight to him as he reports for guard duty.
They should have warned that lot out of town. What did you mean by that remark?
Well, I was only saying that we didn't ask for the soldiers to come here.
And I didn't ask to come here either, but my husband, he's a soldier and serves to the king, and he goes where he's ordered. It's not our fault the town of Boston cannot keep the peace.
Our town was doing very well till your lot came here, and now there's brawls in the streets.
You Boston women, so proud, so haughty. Town of Boston, so proud, so haughty. Well, if there's another fight tonight, I'll warrant many armies will be laid low by morning.
Well, if there is a fight tonight,
I hope your man is killed. Wait, my man stand his ground against any of your boys. Oh.
Over the past 2 weeks, the tensions in Boston have grown even worse. In February, a riot outside the home of a hated customs man ended with him firing his gun into the crowd. His shot killed a boy no more than 11 years old. On March 2nd, a rope maker insulted a passing soldier by asking if he wanted work and then telling him to clean an outhouse. That produced 2 full days of brawls between soldiers and rope makers. Today there were further fights outside soldiers' barracks. But here in the center of town, it is still peaceful. Private Hugh White of the 29th Regiment stands guard at the customs office. The bright moonlight has brought out all sorts of people. Two apprentices from Paymont's barber shop have been enjoying a friendly visit with a couple of young women who clean the customs house.
Hold on a minute. That's that Captain Goldfish. He still owes our master money. Our master did his hair. He never paid him.
He still owes our master money, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. He definitely owes our master money. That's him right there.
That's him.
Oh, there are no gentlemen in that entire regiment.
You show your face and say that to me.
Of course I'll show my face. I'm not afraid of you, Wafter. No reason at all.
Yep, this is where the group.
This is the Boston Massacre. It was in 1770.
Three men lie dead in the ground. 8 more civilians have been wounded. A 17-year-old boy in the back of the crowd will die before dawn. A 5th man will die days later. how can peace be restored to Boston?
Captain, how came you to fire on these men without an order from a magistrate?
My men were attacked.
Have your men returned to the guardhouse? Very well, Captain.
Something must be said to calm this angry mob.
Quite so. I will address them, Mr. Brown.
By the people of Boston.
Was this not the perfect case of self-defense? Self-defense! How many soldiers would be dead had they not fired in their defense?
Sooner. We should have left sooner.
This was murder. What say you? Each and every one of you brought this on this town.
He's shot.
He's hooked on his head.
After you had them straight home where they belong, none of them dead. Your friends are responsible for this, and they silence the governor.
Good people of Boston, go to your homes. Citizens of Boston, let the law take its course. We shall have a trial, and the law will take its course. We shall have justice. Let the law take its course. Return to your homes. Good citizens, return to your homes. I shall live and die by that law. The law of the land. Go to your homes.
There is no law.
To see what followed the next day, please come back to the old State House to watch Blood on the Snow in May. Captain Preston and the 8 enlisted men went on trial for murder in the fall of 1770. Suffolk County juries acquitted all but 2. Private Matthew Kilroy and Private Edward Montgomery were convicted of manslaughter and branded on the thumbs. Every year until the end of the Revolutionary War, Boston observed the anniversary of the massacre with a public oration. Today we commemorate it with this reenactment, showing the conflict from many sides.
Great job, guys. Great job. Great job.
Good people of Boston. That concludes our 246th anniversary commemoration of the Boston Massacre. I'm Brian LeMay, director of the Bostonian Society, inviting you to thank the many reenactors that have come from all over New England to create this event tonight.
Thank you for
Including
joining us.
the Acton Minutemen, the Charlestown Militia Company, Colonel Bailey's 2nd Massachusetts Regiment, His Majesty's 29th Regiment of Foot, the Vein Openers, the Lexington Training Band, the Lincoln Minutemen, the Providence County Militia, and the 10th Massachusetts Regiment. Thanks also to the organizing committee, chaired by Kathy Mulvaney, the Bostonian Society's Director of Education and Exhibitions. Over the next 10 years, we here in Boston will be commemorating a series of events like this that led directly to the revolution and crystallized certain ideas about representative government that form the foundations of this country and basic ideas that we all hold dear. Ideas that were born here inside this building and others around the area. The Bostonian Society has maintained this building for more than 135 years, not with government support, but with the assistance of people like you. We depend on you for contributions. On behalf of the Bostonian Society, I'd like to invite you now into the building where we've waived admission fees for the first floor so that you may warm up a bit and learn more about the Boston Massacre.
All right, thanks for joining
and
us.
Revolutionary Boston.
Good night.
That concludes our event tonight. Thank you for coming.